Hi, my name is Andy Traub. You can find me at takepermission.com or just south of Nashville. A lot of people know about Canva. I think it's a great tool, and I would not call myself good at design. I would call myself below average, actually. But Canva is a great tool that helps me make design and make it look better. So this is not about design tips. This is about how I use Canva. So I'm just going to show you my screen. You can watch and see how I build a design, how I build something. This is for a Facebook Live event at 3 o'clock, 3:30 today. It is Wednesday, June 29th. And just that's the context for this. So here's how I build it. So first I'm going to go over here to uploads. I have uploaded some images already, and this is the one I'm going to use. And think about this in the layers. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this image right here. And it's okay that it's not the full size. I'll stretch it out. So let's use this one right here. So I'm going to take it up to the corner. It kind of locks it in nicely. And then drag it down. There we go. And I want to make this darker. And so here's how I do that. Go up to Elements on the left here. Go to Shapes, and then do a square. I'm going to take that square and just lay it over the image like that. And I want it to be darker, so I'm going to go down here to this square. And I love how simple they make this. Make it black. So obviously I can't see my image. But if I click on this drop down, and I go to Transparency, close that. Go to Transparency, then I've got this slider. Now watch my picture. So my picture kind of shows up there. So I want my picture to be there, but I want it to be a little darker. And I can always adjust that, so I'm going to leave that there. And just to make it easier to grab later, I'm going to actually drag it and make it a little larger. So they won't see that because it's off the image. So now I can see it's a little darker. All right, this is what it looks like with it. That's what it looks like without it. So I've got a nice little film over that. Now I want to start laying these elements on top of it. I've also went out and found this Facebook Live. One of the key things you want to do is make sure that it's transparent, the background of whatever image you pull in, so it'll show the other image behind it. You can see right here. It's a PNG is usually a transparent file versus a JPG. So I'm going to advertise this as a Facebook Live video. I might put that at the top. I might put it at the bottom. I'll put it at the bottom. And then I'm going to, and you can resize that obviously, and you can move it forward or back. So back, meaning the layer. So if I move it back, you can see now it's below that layer. I want to move it up. So I'm going to go forward. Now it's up front. Now I'm going to add some text. So I go over here to text. The main difference between these three are how large you can make them. So if you go to subheading, right, and scroll down, makes it pretty big. If you go to heading, just by default, it starts at much bigger. Right. Actually, you can go to the same size, but just by default, it makes one larger or smaller. So let me go here. I thought it limited the size. So I'm going to delete this one. If you just click on it and hit that trash can, you can delete it. Now, obviously, I can't see this, so I'm going to click on it and choose a color and make it white. Choose a typeface. I want it to be somewhat consistent with the Facebook Live. And I don't know what font that is. I'm not going to really mess with it. I like this one, Bibus New or whatever it is. And I'll leave that. It's all caps. And I want this to be much larger. So I'm going to scroll down here, make it like 88. And I think that this is going to not show up as well as I want it to. It's still too bright. So I want to make this transparency less so that it's darker. There we go. That's a little easier to read the font. And then I'm going to type in here to start and I'm going to hit Shift Enter to make a new line. Successful mastermind. Now check this out. So a couple of issues here. Obviously the line spacing is really way too big. So I click here, I go to text spacing, and then the line height right here. Watch this. There we go. And you got your letter spacing as well, but my letter spacing is fine. So I'm going to put this up here. All right. And then I want to do the time for the event. I still feel like that's too dark. It's a little too busy. So let me make my background darker again. Let's see here. Go to transparency. There we go. Let's see here. I should move this up. And you see that little purple line in the middle? That's showing that it's centered. So that's a good thing. Thank you for doing that, Canva. And that's also centered. Okay. And now instead of figuring out and starting with a new subheading and changing the font and everything, well, I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to go over here and click copy right here. So that duplicates everything. And the reason I did that is because I want to have the same kind of font right down here. But I'm going to delete a bunch of it. Obviously, because I just want to put the time. So 3:30, whoops, p.m. Central. And I'll say 6:29. Now this doesn't fit, so I need to pull these to the left and this to the right. There you go. See how that barely fits, but it doesn't quite. It's too crowded. So I'm going to click here and change it to like 80. And see, it's just that simple. And give us a little bit more space. Let's give it a little @ symbol. We'll just make it CT. We'll probably figure that out. Now I need to put the address of where it's going to be. We'll put that at the top. Actually, let's move these all the way around. That's why I love Canva. So I'm going to move this up here. And this down here. And I can just move these all around. It's great. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to put my my Facebook address here. And so this is way too big. 64. Still too big. You can also type in here. So instead of just following the guidelines, you can type in there. Still a little tight. Let's make it 52. Here we go. Now let's do something else that's kind of cool here. So let's move these around again. Put this back, I like this up here more. And I'm going to make this line right here kind of stick out by giving it a solid background. So we're going to put that there, this here, right? And then right here for this, I'm going to give this a solid background. I'm going to do that by going to Elements, and then go over here to Shapes again. Oops, I was already on Shapes. And do this, and I'm going to pull it down. Move it on top of this. Again, it's just me experimenting. These are not design tips. This is just how I use it. Now, obviously, this is in front, so I'm going to try to move it back. Actually, I'm going to make it black first. And then I'm going to move it back. There we go. So what I did is I moved that behind those words. So you can see right there, facebook.com/public. Kind of sticks out a little bit better. Don't know if that's really necessary, but we're going to leave it as is. Because again, I don't overthink it. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to make the whole bottom part black. So click on this black image here. Right here. Sometimes it can be hard to grab things. Let's make it a little smaller here. It's hard to grab elements on Canva sometimes if you make the areas too large. So grab this, pull it down, and we're going to move it back again. There we go. Grab this, put it down. There we go. So, there we are. I'm sure there's like 58 ways I can make that look better. But you know what? I'm going to call it good enough. Hopefully that was helpful for you. You can learn more about what I teach about, such as how to start a successful mastermind, at takepermission.com. God bless. Have a great day.